Okay, so I will start sharing the screen. We would talk, or as I talked last time, we discussed in the asynchronous class before this one, which was the replacement class, the public health holiday. I was discussing the Ether channel. And Ether channel simply, it is a technique or protocols that will allow us to group different ports to work as one virtual port. When we do that, we get many benefits. And of course, first of all, it's very, or it is possible to do that because we have the spanning tree protocol we talked about previously that will disallow loops from happening. And because of that, we can do the link aggregation, or we combine the links together. In that case, we have redundancy, fault tolerance, load sharing, increase the bandwidth. So too many benefits there. That's the main idea of using the Ether channel. How we draw it? Usually Ether channel, we draw it like that. Like we make a circle around the cables. We can have 2, 3, 4, up to 8 links combined together. We can have more than one virtual port or port channel. We can have more up to 6, from 1 to 6 port channels. The port channel is the virtual port. The Ether channel is the protocol of link aggregation or link combining, making the links as one group. Now, what are the advantages already mentioned? What are the restrictions? To do that, to combine the ports together, we have to make sure they are from the same type. If one of them is fast Ethernet, all the others should be fast Ethernet. We cannot mix fast Ethernet with gigabit Ethernet. That's not allowed. Another thing, they have to have the same speed. They have to have the same mode, switch port mode. Is it access or is it a trunk? It should be configured the same. Also, if it's having a trunk, should allow the same VLANs, VLAN 10, 20, 30, all of them should allow exactly the same VLANs. That's how we do it. Now we have two different protocols for that. One of them is called PHP, or Port Aggregation Protocol. This is by Cisco devices. And if you are using other vendors, you can use Link Aggregation Control Protocol, LACP. However, both protocols are supported now in the switches, whatever vendor is. Why we have different? Because simply Cisco is having 80% of the devices all around the world, network devices. If they decide to call it port aggregation protocol, everyone will follow. Okay, but the IEEE standard is called LACP. So now for PHP, we have 3 different modes. Either on, if you make it on, it means that you are willing to configure it and check everything manually. If you have desirable, it means that specific port is willing to discuss with the other side to check everything, to do the negotiation, to form that Ether channel or that group of ports working as a one virtual port. Or you can make it auto. Auto, it means that it is willing to be in this negotiation, but it will never start the negotiation. Because of that differences, we will have different match. If you make it on, make sure that you would do it manually in both sides. Switch 1 and switch 2, both of them will be on, okay, to work. But if you want to make one of them is manual, the other one automatically configured, it will not work. The channel will not establish. Simply because when you make on, it means you don't want to discuss with others. So they cannot negotiate to build or establish the Ether channel. If you make desirable auto is fine. But if you make auto and auto, it will be a problem. Simply because both of them willing to participate in the negotiation or the discussion happening, but none of them will start that negotiation. So make sure when you choose the mode to choose the right combination. LICP is the same, it's just the name of the mode is different. On, active, and passive, exactly the same story. On and on is okay. On and any other thing is not working. Passive and passive, it will not work because simply they don't talk. Later, I did the configuration. I asked you to to submit it. Hopefully it's already done. And of course, if the protocol is active, it will check the speed, the duplexes, the VLANs, and everything for you. Now, how to configure it? Simply, we first start with interface, range. We find which ports we want to combine it together. We type channel group 1, mode active. So we choose the mode and give it a number. We have 1 until 6. That's the maximum you can get. Then after you create the channel group 1, now to configure anything, you configure the entire group as one virtual group. That group is called port channel 1. Then you can do whatever you want inside that port channel. You can give it the mode trunk, allow whatever configuration you want to do it for the entire group, not one by one. So I believe last time I asked you to submit this one to Italim. Hopefully it's done, 624. And now I want to check, okay, for troubleshooting, how to check, is it working or not? If you are in the lab, after you tell me everything is okay, everything is working, I will come and unblock one of the link and see if you can still connect the devices or it's not working. That's the practical way of checking it. The link is no more connected, but the rest of the group is working, so the connection should not stop. But when you are doing it to check, you have either you type show interfaces port channel, show ether channel summary, show ether channel port channel, or show interfaces port channel. All these things, yes. These things will show you the details of it. Okay, now troubleshooting, okay, done. This is what you will see if you write summary to show you there's port channel 1. It's including these 2 ports as one group. Okay, if you type show or, okay, which one? Okay, if you do any mistake while configuring, just type the command no before the wrong interface. It would delete everything. Then you can start again. So that's in general what you have. I want to do one activity with you at the same time. You can work with me and submit it directly. So just to make sure that you get it. And later, we will create one activity from 0, okay, in class activity. So now in the group, this is the group, I'll put one packet tracer 641. I want you to download, open it, and let's make it together. As I'm working, if I'm doing it very fast, you have any question, you can ask me to slow down at any moment. You can ask me if there's any comments not clear or why we are not doing it. You are not clear about that, we can do. Inshallah, next class, when we meet in the lab, you will be doing it in real life. And good luck in that time. Because in the lab, I don't give instructions. I just ask you to do this. So let's see how things will go on Thursday, inshallah. Okay, why I opened it many times, sorry. Just give me a second. I opened many times. That will slow down the whole thing. Okay, so if you opened the packet tracer already, you can see that there is nothing in the workspace. They left it empty. Okay, they left it empty. But they gave us the instruction in here. So we can try to follow the instructions to build the network. It's a good idea. Maybe the final exam, I have to do the same. Or final exam, I don't want you to see the percentage. I would decide the percentage later. I would think about it, okay? I can give you that, something empty like that, and then there's the completion rate to see how much did you finish. I would see. Yeah. Because I don't want to make it easy for you. Okay, let's see what they want us to do. Simply, we are building Ether channel. Build the network. So what is the network? You can see it is, you find this specific switch, click on it, and put 3 switches in the workspace. So you go to the bottom left corner, click on switch, take 2960. This is exactly the same switch we have in the lab. So I put switch 1, switch 2, and switch 3. Next, they want us to call these switches, okay, SWA, switch A, switch B, switch C. So let's do that, switch A. And they want us to do it also exactly as they want. Otherwise, you will not get the completion rate correct. And this one is a switch C. Now, remember something. Whatever you do here outside, it's only for display. When you go inside, it's still called switch. So we have to change it from inside also. Config terminal, I'll call it host name. You have to change it. And in the lab, this is something I will insist that you have to do at the beginning of the lab. Okay? If I come and see the word switch, I cannot understand what's happening. Which one is that? So switch A. Now I go to the second one. I call it switch B. Sorry, not inside, from inside. Enter, enable, config terminal. And then this one, host name, change to switch B, all capital. Now the last one, also same thing, enable, config terminal, and host name is switch C. This is done. Now what we have to do? Follow the instruction. Okay. So we replaced the name, repeated everything, okay. Now they want us to connect the devices. How to connect? We know there is a cable. They want us to use straight through cable to connect these devices. And they want us to connect them according to this table. You see there's port channel 1, switch 1, and switch B. Switch A and B should be connected using this port, G01 and G02. So that's what I'll be doing. Go to the connection straight through, then switch A G01 to G01, just like the table is telling us. Then G02 going to G02. After that, I'll take straight through also, connect switch A to switch C. Okay, so maybe this is not the right way to put them together. Switch A to switch C should be using 21, fast Ethernet 021 to fast Ethernet 021, then fast Ethernet 022 to fast Ethernet 022. Take the switch, put it here, so yeah, now it makes sense. Later, we have switch B and C should be connected also using F023, 23 to 23, and 24 to 24. The completion rate is only 12. Okay. Can you tell me, are you having 12% or not yet? Anyone got 12% the completion rate? 12, good. Anyone else? 12. Okay, that means I'm not going very fast. Someone can catch up. That's a good news. Now let's see what they want us to do. They want to configure the Ether channel because you can see we have a link, but if you don't put the protocol, they would not work. Actually, the network will have a lot of troubles. Now, if you look at the lights also, you see some of them are green, some of them are orange color. Why? Simply because you are having a spanning tree protocol formed here. And the spanning tree protocol is looking at the switches as 6 different points, okay, different switches. Now, it's not looking at them as 3. Every link here is connected to different port. Each port is considered as one switch. So the spanning tree, I don't know how to draw it. I think maybe switch C will be the root. It's connected from here to switch B, from here to here. I don't know. There is some kind of connection happening there. Okay. So spanning tree is there. That's why the light is here like that. It's fine. Now we want to do the protocol. How to do the protocol for Ether channel? We have to follow the instruction. You can see the first Ether channel, port channel 1. It is page P, and they want both sides should be able to negotiate. So I'll go to switch A and B now, one by one. I got to switch A, click on that, and let's follow the instruction. What the instructions say, from the table, I have to go to interface, G01 and G02. Did I make them as Ether channel? Nope, not yet. Interface range, G01 to 2. So I'm inside the configuration for range of interfaces, not a specific interface. Inside here, I want to create a channel group, there's a typo, sorry, channel group. And the channel group number is the one, port number, this one. It's number 1 between switch 1 and switch A and B. Now I have to put the mode. If I'm using page P, and both sides should negotiate. So what is the mode I will be using? Can you tell me? See, these are the options. I want to use page P, and both of them should be able to negotiate. So which one should I choose? Active, auto, desirable, on, or passive? Desirable, exactly, because desirable, it is from page P, and it means that all of them would talk together. Okay, that's done here. So we can leave. Actually, yeah. Okay, let's do that. I'll go to page B now. Sorry, switch B now. In switch B, I will do the same thing. Interface range. We have G0, 1 to 2. Oops, sorry. 1 to 2. I do the same thing, which is channel group. Same thing, 1. Mode, since both of them should discuss, it will be mode desirable. Enter. So the Ether channel, look at the lights here. It went down. Why it went down? Because something changed. It need now to start negotiating. Then it would turn to another color. Because remember, if they don't match, there will be no Ether channel. But now they start talking. Start talking is a good news. It means that, okay, both of them, they have the protocol discussing. This is the negotiation time. At the moment they reach to the end, you see there will be a green color. Green color means that they reach an agreement, is done. The Ether channel is already established. Now in switch B should connect to switch C as well. Oh, okay, or switch A should connect to switch C. Let's see which one we start with. I'll look at the table. You can see port channel 2 is the one between switch A and switch C using these ports, F01, F021 and F022. Okay, so I got switch A, configure the port channel there, exit the current one. Sorry, typo. Exit the current one. Let's follow what we have here. What we need to do, interface F021 until 22. What's the mistake? Why I have an error? Can you tell? What's my mistake? Yeah, exactly. Should be a range. It's not a specific interface only. It is a range of interfaces. Range F021 until 22. Now, when we are here, what we have to do? Channel group 1. Is it 1 or 2? What's the number here? It's 2. From the name here, it's 2. So channel group 2, mode. You see here saying the LACP in the instructions say both of them should be able to talk. So we'll have mode active. This is done at switch A. Now I have to go to the other side, which is switch C, do the same. In a interface range F021 until 22. In here, I'll type channel group 2 mode active, and this is done. Now I have to do the other one. Also switch 3 to switch, switch C to switch B. So should be channel group 3. So I can create another one, exit the current range. Now interface range. Make sure you have the right ports, which is F0, 23 until 24. When you are inside there, you create the channel group 3 mode. Okay, let's check this one. What's this one saying? Switch 3, initiate the negotiation at switch B. So switch 3 should be active or passive. Switch B does not initiate negotiation. So switch 3, switch C should be active or passive. It is the one to start the negotiation. It is active, exactly. It is active. Now, what's wrong? Yeah, typo as usual. Active. Okay. So this is created. Now what we have to do, we have to go to switch B and create the same thing. Exit the current range. Go to interface range F0, 23. Is it 23? Just double check. 23 to 24. By the way, if you do a mistake here, it's better to check if you're not 100% sure, because the mistakes you will pay for it later. It will be hard to discover what's the problem sometimes and all these things. Okay, group 3 mode. This one is not desirable. This one is passive. Okay, so we are done. Let's look at the completion rate, 87%. Anyone got more than 87%? Anyone? So we don't know what did we miss. We follow all the instructions done. So we can do check results, assessment items. And in here, you can see the port mode is not set. So they want us to decide either it is trunk or it is something else, access mode. So although it's not mentioned, or maybe it's mentioned, but I didn't read. So let's try to do that. Simply, we want to do all the virtual ports as trunk. I'll go to switch A. I know that here I have 2 virtual trunk. I created 1 and 2. So how to go there? Interface, port channel 1, switch mode, trunk. Next, I'll go to the next one. Interface, port channel 2, switch mode, trunk. Okay, close switch A. This is 1. Now this side is 1 and 3. Switch B is connected to 1 and 3. So I have to do the same. Switch 3, I'll go to exit this one. I'll go to interface. The virtual one is called port channel 1. And in there, switch mode trunk. And then I'll go to the second one, 2, and also switch mode trunk. So this is done for switch B. Switch C is connected to 2 and 3. How do we know? From the table. Switch C is connected to port channel 2 and port channel 3. So at switch C, I'll go to that port channel, interface, port channel 2, switch mode trunk, and then interface port channel 3, switch mode trunk. Let's check the completion rate. 97. What did I miss? I thought I'm done. Link to switch C from switch B. Port mode is wrong. Which port mode? What's that? Let's check this one. So it seems that I forgot to do the port trunk in Ether channel. Which channel group is that? Switch B, the one connecting 23 to 24, should be port channel 3. Didn't I do it? I thought I did that one. Let's see. Did I do? Oh, I did a mistake. And this specific port, there is nothing called port channel 2. Let's check that one. Do show Ether channel summary. You can see the one I created is 3 and 1, but I configured 2. That's why I got this mistake. So what I have to do to cancel that mistake, cancel port channel 2, I just type no interface port channel 2. Double check now to see do show Ether channel summary. You can see now this one is connected to 1 and 3. Also the protocol is mentioned which one. Now we want 3 to be trunk. So I have to correct it. Interface port channel 3 switch mode trunk. Let's check the completion rate now. It is 100%. Okay, anyone is done like me or you are still trying to catch up? Done? 100% or not yet? Done, alhamdulillah. Okay, so if you are done, I will go to, where's my classes? To iTalim, I'll give you the link there to submit now until the end of the class. If you submit after the class finish, I'll consider it as late submission. Yeah. This is the Ether channel. Oh, before that, I want to see, did I give you project 2? Okay. Project 2 is not active yet, although I thought it's already there. Okay, I will activate it after the class directly. Let's do the Ether channel now, finish it, and then I'll discuss that. Okay, it's not here, so I'll create the link for that. Let's call it submission. Submission. The number is 642 Ether channel. Okay. For 1, sorry. The time to submit is at 11:30. Today, 11:30. If you want to submit late, you can, but I will deduct some mark later. Okay, so if you are done, just submit it now. Meanwhile, I'll activate the project. I don't know how I forgot the project. It's supposed to be there a long time ago. Okay, for project 2, you don't have to do it with the same group. If you want to change your group, it's fine. You have until this Friday to tell me your group members. Okay, you have to submit the group members before Friday. And again, if you feel that the first project group members may be hard to communicate with or whatever issue you have, simply you can get a new group. But make sure that every single one of you will have a task to do. Don't put free riders. Okay, someone not working, that's not good for you because a lot of work should be done in the project. If you want to finish it, better to divide the work in the correct way. I'll talk about the project by next class, inshallah. So for you, you can open it now and check, see what's in there, and maybe you can decide the group accordingly. Now, if we are done with this one, I want to make a new network, but this time is not something with instruction, it's something we just do from scratch and try to build, because this is exactly what I would do to you next class. In the lab, I'll give you a network, you go and calculate everything, do whatever, you have the commands. I will not help you with it. So better to build the network together now. Inshallah, next class, we will build something similar to it. So our network, how it will be, simply we'll have three switches. Three switches, 1, 2, and 3. I have 3 different computers, PC1, PC2, and PC3. And I will have one router there. So you can see, you can guess now that I want to do router on stick. We have PC1 connected to the switch 1, PC2 connected to switch 2, PC3 connected to switch 3, and now we have Ether channel here, 2 links instead of 1. And we have a connection to the router. Let's call them names. This could be router 1 or router only because we don't have many of them. This is switch 1, switch 2, switch 3, PC1, PC2, and PC3. Now to create this network, what we have to do, the steps, if you think about it, we have first step is to do the IP netting, subnetting, right? Find the IP and do the subnetting. Next thing to do is create VLANs at switch. Assign switch mode to interfaces at the switches. Next thing, what we have to do, create Ether channel. 5 is make trunks at switches, between switches. The last step could be at the router. What should we do at the router? What should we do at the router? This specific exercise is combining everything we studied up to this point. And this is what I like. Whenever we move a step, we have an activity that have all the other topics all together. So at the router, what should we do to have router on stick? Already forgot? Let me write it for you. Create sub interfaces at the router. Okay, so that's just a general talking. Now let's do the first thing, IP subnetting. I'll put 192.168. 10.10 slash 24 here. Slash 24 is the easiest one. Why? Because simply you just have to change this one and you get the next subnet. When we do, and I know that we talked about VLSM and how to use the IP efficiently. This is in real life. When you go to the companies, this is what you will be doing. But for the time being, we don't care if we waste IP addresses, okay? Because we are learning completely different topic now. So we just use whatever easy for us to configure. 192.168, the 30 dot. Why did I do 2? Okay, let's make it 30.30 slash 24. And this one, I'll make it 20.20 slash 24. And that's it. Here we have the network. This is what we will be doing. So let's do it in Packet Tracer. In Packet Tracer, please open a new file, and a clean one. We would take 3 switches. The one we will use usually is the 290. It's the same as the one you will find in the lab when we go to the lab next time, inshallah. So switch 1, 2, and 3. I will call them the correct names because we want to talk about them, so better not to get confused. Switch 2 and switch 3. Okay. Not only that, I'll go inside every switch and call it the right one because I don't want to get confused later. Host name, configure terminal, terminal, host name, switch 1. So from the beginning, I want this thing to be clear. In the lab, inshallah, when we go on Thursday, this is the first step you do. Decide which switch is what. So host name, switch 2. What is my mistake here? What is the mistake? Why did I get an error? Yeah, exactly. I'm in the wrong configuration mode. I should be in config terminal first. Then I can type host name and switch 2. That's switch 2, yeah. Okay, next one, switch 3, same thing. CLI, enable config terminal. And then here, host name, switch 3. This is done. Now what I would do also, I bring 3 computers, 3 PC1, PC2, and PC3. I will recall them. This one I call it PC1 dash VLAN 10, so I can remember. This one is PC2 dash VLAN 20, also to remember it. And PC3 dash VLAN 30. I need a router. Just get any router from there, doesn't matter. Now I want to connect them. Computer to switch, it should be straight through. From fast Ethernet, just for me to remember, all of them I'll do F01. From the computer to the switch, I'll use F01. For those taking enterprise network, you remember in the lab, I told you that we don't care about the switch. Because enterprise network, our main concern is the router. But here, our main concern is the switch. So whatever port you have to put, you have to remember. Because that's what you will configure later. Okay, from the switch here to the router, let's choose G01. And the other side will be G001. Up to you, whatever you want to choose, but remember them. Now from switch 1 to switch 2, I will use F02 to F02 and F03 to F03. This is the port channel. You need to remember the numbers, so make sure, don't put it randomly, it will be a headache. Just try to remember. It's okay to do, for example, here, F04, the other one is F024. That's okay, but you need to remember it. That's why we advise everyone, make sure, oh, what was that? What did I choose? F04 to F04. Did I choose F04? Just give me a second. I want to check. F. Come on. Okay. I can go to options, preferences, allow show ports. So it says F04. I don't want a lot of writing. That's why I hide it. Okay. Now F05 to F05. You can choose any numbers as far as you remember them. Okay. So the physical connection is done. This is something to remember. In the lab, you might need to do the physical connection, put all the cables together, then start configuration. Or it's not necessary to do that. You can, one of you, because you have group members, right? One of you is doing the physical connection and the other one is doing the configuration. So you can finish fast. Okay, now what we have to do, we go to the computers, is the easiest one. From the desktop IP configuration, I'll put the IP address 192.168.10.10, 192.168.10.1. That's the default gateway. We have the default gateway because there's a router in the network. Remember that. There's no router, it's wrong to put the IP, the default gateway. 192.168.20.20, 192.168.20.1. Then the last one is 192.168.30.30, 192.168.30.1. This is done. So no more at the computer, we are done. The next step to do, let's do the router. Okay, because it's one router, less work to be done there. What we have to do, first question you get, the answer is no. Now enable config terminal. We want to create the sub interfaces. Sub interfaces when we have router on stick, and that's exactly what we are doing here. How to create it? I'll type interface G001. Make sure that you are using the same number. If you are using different router, you may get G01 only, not 2 zeros, only one. Also, maybe you connect to G00, it's fine. Just make sure you are using the correct one. Now, the first VLAN is VLAN 10, so I'll type VLAN 10. Now I'll do encapsulation. Encapsulation what? Can anyone remember the rest of the command? Encapsulation? What is the rest of the command? Encapsulation .1q, yes, .1q, and then write the VLAN number. So VLAN 10. Okay, now we can give the IP address 192.168.10.1. This is exactly the same IP address as I put as a gateway IP address in PC1. Now 255.255.255.0. We don't have to do no shutdown for this one. It's a sub interface. Now I'll use the up key, the up. Okay. And then I just need to change the number G001.20, encapsulation .1q20, and then the IP address is the same one, but I changed to 20. Okay. Same thing I would do for G001.30. Encapsulation is .1q30. And then the IP address is .30.1. If that's done, now I exit this one. I go in here, go to the main interface, G001. I just type no shutdown. That's it. So the router configuration is done. Nothing to be done there. Now we have the switches. Should I start with the switches or you want me to stop for half a minute? Is everything okay? Everything is okay? Yes, no, raise your hand if everything is okay. 3. Okay, 6. Okay, since that the others are still working on it. So let's take half a minute break because we want to finish everything. If you want to see the comments for the routers, these are the comments. Yes, you're still working on it. Okay, let's continue. Now we want to do the switches. What we will be doing at the switches, first thing, not to forget anything and get confused with numbers, I'll go to every single switch and create the VLANs. Just create the VLANs. VLAN 10, I'll call it name VLAN 10. VLAN 20, name VLAN 20. VLAN 30, call the name VLAN 30. And then we need another one, right? What is the other one for? What's the other VLAN used for? We have 3 VLANs, but I will create 4. What is the other 4? What is it for? Yeah, exactly, the native. So VLAN, you have to find a number. Actually, the right thing is to do another 2, not another 1. 1 for management, 1 for the native. VLAN, let's call it 77, just any number. Then I'll call the name native. This is done. At switch 1, I would do exactly the same at switch 2. Why I do it directly? Because sometimes I'll forget the native, what is the number I choose. So instead of doing everything at switch 1, finish it, then I move to switch 2, I prefer to create the VLANs first. VLAN 10, then the name is VLAN 10. VLAN 20, name VLAN 20. VLAN 30, name VLAN 30. And the native is 77. Before I forget, now the name is native. Done. I'll go to switch 3, do the same. VLAN 10. Sorry, it's a typo as usual. VLAN 10, name VLAN 10. VLAN 20, name VLAN 20. VLAN 30, name VLAN 30. VLAN 77, name native. Okay, so the VLANs are created. Now I'll start from switch 1. Switch 1, if you look at it, what do we have? F01 is connected to the computer for each of them, right? So I will do the easy one. F01 for all of them will be access mode. So I'll go to interface, F01. In here, switch port mode access. And then switch port access VLAN 10. This is done at switch 1. Switch 2, I would do the same. What I would do here, interface F01. If you connect to different port, make sure you are using the right port. So this one, switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 20. The next one, switch 3, it's the same. Exit. The interface F01, switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 30. So now the computers with the switch is configured. I will do switch 1 to the router. Router, we did the sub-interfaces, right? Even if I put here, I have sub-interface 10, 20, 30. But I need to do something as this specific port. What is the number of this port? It is G01, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, G01. If I want to draw what's happening in G01, you remember when we talked about router on a stick? We said that router on a stick, simply the message will come from VLAN 20, go here, go inside here. Then it will go to the router. At the router, it will do the U-turn. Then it will go to the other VLAN. So from here, it will go to the other VLAN, but using the same link. And then from here, it will go maybe to switch 3, VLAN 30. So if we have that case, it means at this specific point, what should we do in here? This G01, what should we configure this G01? What is G01? What kind of configuration we have to do there? Anyone remember this? It's a trunk, exactly. Thank you, sister. It's a trunk. Why it is a trunk? Because it's accepting VLAN 20, 30, and 10, all the VLANs. That's why it should be a trunk. So that's why, let's stop this one. At G01, I have to make it a trunk. So let's exit this one. I go to interface G01. How to do the trunk? Switch mode, switch port mode, trunk. Then switch port, trunk, native, VLAN 77, switch port, trunk, switch port, trunk, allow VLAN 10, 20, 30, and 77. Okay. So this is done at this point. What other thing we have to do at switch 1? What's the next step? Before I leave switch 1, what can I do here? I can do the Ether channel, right? Create the Ether channel between F02 and F03. Actually, why F02 and 3 only? Let me change something. Okay, actually, no need to complicate things. I can put F0, 5, 6, 7, as many as up to 8. Okay, but currently we can do F02 and 3. Actually, let's do that. Let's do that. This is what I would do. Since I didn't configure anything yet, I can add more. Just to show you, it's the same steps. Okay, I will take straight through. The right one actually should be crossover, but it's fine. So 4, also 4, and I'll use 5, F05, 0, 5. So you can see I have 4 links together. That will make the bandwidth multiply by 4, which is a nice thing, but I have to do the correct configuration. So now I have 2, 3, 4, 5. I have to remember that. Now I will go to the other side. I'll make 12 to 12, 13 to 13, 14 to 14, 15 to 15. If you want to make it 3 only, it's okay. But remember the numbers. This is the main thing. 15 to 15. So we have a lot. Okay. Now I will do the Ether channel. In switch 1, I'll go there. I'll create the Ether channel. How to create it? I'll go to interface, range. This is the only thing would change here. Instead of writing F0, 2 to 3, it will make 2 to 5. That's the only change. The rest of it is the same. So 2 to 5, channel, group, we call it 1. If you try 12, for example, you'll get a problem. The last thing should be 6. Okay, so 1. The mood, we should choose one of the moods. For me, I always like to have active. But actually to have all active or all desirable, later we will see it is not secure. Okay? It's not secure to let your switches talk to anyone because the other side could be a bad guy. So to initiate the conversation every time is not a good idea, but it's an easy idea, so we will do it now. Okay? So that's activated. This one. Now I will go to that port channel I just created. So interface port channel 1. Inside it, I will do the trunk. Switch port, mode, trunk. Switch port, trunk. Switch port, trunk. Oh, here we start getting some headache because we keep getting the message native. VLAN, native, yeah, VLAN 77. Switch port, trunk, allow. VLAN 10, 20, 30, and 77. I'll go now to the other side. You see, there will be a lot of headaches here, getting a message saying there's mismatch and something like that. I'll go to the other side, switch to. I'll do the same thing for, first of all, I'll create the virtual port. So interface, range, fast Ethernet 0 to 2 until 5. All of these are called channel group. Should be the same number I use in the other one, in the other switch, or it will not be able to talk as one group. So group 1 mode, up to me. I can use passive or active. Both of them are okay as far as the other side is active. This is done. Now I want to do this range, or I cannot do it at the range, by the way. I have to go to interface port channel 1. In the port channel 1, now I'll create the switch port mode trunk, switch port trunk native VLAN 77, switch port. See, now there's a message saying that it's unblocking the port because the native is the same. But now we have to do switch port trunk, allow VLAN 10, 20, 30, and 77. All of them will be allowed. Okay, so you can see now between switch 1 and switch 2, everything is fine. All are green. That's a very good news. But we have to do between switch 2 and switch 3 now. This is another group of ports starting from F0, 12 until 15, 12, 13, 14, 15, yeah. So at switch 2, we are still there. I'll create another port channel. How to do that? I'll go to interface range, F0, 12 until 15. If you use different one, just make sure that you have that specific one. 12 until 15. In there, I'll say channel group, channel group. Cannot use 1. 1 is used between switch 1 and 2. Now we are using another one between 2 and 3. So I'll call this one 2. Mode, active. See all of them down, up, 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 down. Okay. Now, after you create that, I want to make it as a trunk. I'll go to interface, port channel, the one I created called 2. So in here, switch mode trunk, switch trunk native VLAN 77, switch trunk allow VLAN 10, 20, 30, and 77. Okay. Now Is everything okay? Are you okay? Everything is fine? How much did you finish from this? Can you give me percentage? How much did you finish? Can you give me percentage? 100%? 80%? Are we in the same page or I'm going very fast? Okay, alhamdulillah, I have some 100%. Okay, good. So what I would do now, I'll stop sharing. Switch 3, you have to configure it yourself. Command for which one? Switch 2, sister? Command for switch 2. Where is the command switch 2? This one. Yeah. You can see what we did. Actually, we cannot show it in one window because we have a command. One of them is to create the port. Is creating the port. This is to create the port, only this one. Only one command. Interface range, and then you put the range, and then you create the channel. Then you have some messages coming. You create the interface port channel 2, create the trunk, just as we did previously. And that's it. Okay, so now I'll stop sharing. I would do switch 3 by myself and expect you to do switch 3 by yourself. So you have to remember the commands. Otherwise, in the lab, it will be a headache. Okay, so let's do it. Switch 3. Okay, I'm done. Not sure about you. Let's have 1 more minute, a break of 1 more minute before I share my screen again. And then we discuss if it's working or not, or we want to check if it's working or not. Okay, I think it's enough breaking. Let's try to see now. Is it working or not? Let me share the screen. So are you done? Do you think you are done? Are you done? Do you see mine? Oh, everything is green, which is a good news, at least I think. To make sure that the network is working, what I have to do, go to PC1, from there ping all the other PCs. Ping 192.168.10.20.20, because it doesn't make sense to ping your own self, okay, your own computer. So .20.20, it might take some time because remember, we have Ether channel, they have to discuss. We have spanning a tree, they need to do the election and so on. It will go to the router, do the U-turn and come back. So if you get few request timeout, try to ping again. Now this is working with VLAN 20. I'll try it with VLAN 30. It's not enough to try one computer. You have to try them all. Otherwise, there's an issue. So VLAN 30, alhamdulillah, it's working. Now I go to PC2, try to ping PC3. Ping 192.168.30.30. Okay, it's working. So simply my network is ready now. Okay, is it clear? Is everything okay? Any questions? Because this one, you have to submit it before midnight, today before midnight, okay? So let me check. Okay, I'll show the link for you to submit. Let me make it until midnight. Today is 16 December. Wow, midnight. So how many of you already done, finish? Can you raise your hand if you are done? I want to see if it's considered as an easy one or difficult one. Okay, 1, 2, only 2 done, 3. Okay. The rest of you, any questions? I will assume that's only about time. You need more time to do it. So hopefully that's the case. Okay, I believe that's all for today. Since there's, I don't want to start a new module. The new module will be DHCP. Inshallah, we will do it next week after you do all this network, same network like this one. You will be doing in real lab on Thursday. Of course, at that time, I will draw different things and see what will happen, okay? One problem I'm worried about is the number of students. If I think 23 came, it's okay. But if we get too many students, it will be a lot, but it's fine. It's a good experience to learn in a crowd of students around you. Okay, any questions? Everything is okay, or we stop here today? Can we stop? Everything is okay? Yes, no? So quiet. Okay, so that's all for today. Inshallah, we'll meet you on Thursday, face-to-face class. Already confirmed. I asked the lecturer, Dr. Adamu, to give us the lab, and he will be doing the online class. Inshallah, maybe next week also we can do the same. One class will be online, the other class will be in the lab. But that's with the condition that we finish the DHCP on Tuesday. So Thursday we will have it in the lab, hopefully. If not, then we see how. So thank you very much. Thank you for being patient with me. Hopefully, now this exercise you had is a revision for all the topic we studied: VLANs, interVLANs, Ether channel. And in the future, we can add DHCP to the same network. We can add the other protocols also to the same network. Thank you, and Assalamu alaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum.